So hey guys, what's going on? It's the Midwest Pepper here, and today I'm going to be sowing some seeds. So hey guys, what's going on? Today is mid-February and I'm in my wonderful greenhouse here. It's about 60 degrees outside, which is odd for mid-February in Missouri since, 2 days ago it was like sleeting and snowing. But today we're going to go ahead and be looking at sowing some seeds, some herbs, and I'll go ahead and point the camera down here so you get a little bit of a closer look. Okay, so since this is really truly my very first year with starting seeds this early, I'm going to be using some Jiffy seed starting mix, organic stuff, organic, very loose term, but yeah, like I'm planning on later on this year doing a compost, which I will be using for my seeds. But if you have some mixture that you make yourself, which like vermiculite and then your compost and whatever else that you have, combined in it, that's probably 10 times better than this stuff. But right now, this is all that I have, and as you can tell here, I'll get some out. It's really, really loose, and it's not very compact, which is good for the seeds to be starting in. Actually, I would probably heat this up, or keep it out in the sunlight, just until it reaches about 75 degrees, so it's a lot faster for the seeds to actually start germinating, and maybe even soak it a little bit. Sorry, that was a Facebook text. But even soak this maybe in some warm water to get it to get a little bit more moist, so the seeds will actually start a little bit better. So some people wonder about what they should use for watering. So honestly, like if you really think about it, rainwater is the 100% best thing. I mean, plants thrive in rainwater; they just love it. But probably the next best thing to it is distilled water, since it doesn't have any chlorine or any other additives to it that may or may not affect the germination of a seed. So basically, I'd love to use distilled water in a spray bottle, which you can spray, okay, and put a couple of tablespoons of Epsom salt or magnesium sulfate, it really does promote growth. This makes it, I mean, just pop like crazy, and probably, it will germinate a few days faster than normally, but obviously it has to be in the normal, conditions. But this is really, really good. I actually used this on my tomato plants last year whenever I started them in here a lot later, but it's still, man, it just went crazy. So I put 2 tablespoons of Epsom salt into a 1 spray bottle and then just shook it up really good. And that's about it for your water mixture. So some people ask me, should I grow heirloom, hybrid, or GMO seeds? Well, let's do a little bit of recap here on what the three mean. Okay, so GMO is a genetically modified organism, which means that basically they take the genetics of each plant and try to promote growth in certain areas and then, prevent things. And it's very similar to a hybrid, but a GMO seed just will not grow, regrow next year. And I'm sure you guys have heard Monsanto and all the other companies. There's so many different ones, and I'm not going to get into the end of this video. I'm just saying don't grow GMOs, but the general populace cannot, they can't just go up to a store and get GMO seeds. That's not really possible unless you're a farmer. Okay, so the hybrid seeds are basically 2 plants of similar kinds, like tomatoes, cucumbers, etc., that they grow together to have certain health benefits that will like colder climates or hotter climates, soil wise, a range of different things that hybrid seeds actually do. And really, you may even be doing hybrid seeds and not even really realizing it for yourself. Growing 2 different kinds of heirloom tomatoes can actually produce a hybrid tomato next year if you try to save those seeds. So be cautious with those. And now the third one is the heirloom seeds. And heirloom sounds exactly how it sounds. It's heirloom seeds. It's the very first seeds that came about of that specific plant, and those are generally the best ones that you can get. Um, they may not be, disease resistant in most areas, but that's why you have to do your own research, before you start buying seeds from certain companies. You have to make sure that they're not grown in an area where, pollination can be crossed with a GMO seed in a big field where they generally do it. Where I get my seeds from is mypatriotsupply.com, and this is a really good company here, guys. It really good. Germination rates usually above 85, but this one's for 70 on the tobacco plant. I'll get to this later for the seed type, but really good packaging, quick, good customer service, fairly inexpensive actually for what you get. And I actually keep growing these every single year. These are all heirloom seeds. That's all that they sell on their website. So it's really good. Also, another thing that a little bit of a comparison here. I'm sure you guys have heard of Big Beef, Better Boy, Celebrities, and it is beefsteak. Okay, well, all those besides beefsteak are hybrid. So just to get you guys a little bit into a loop of hybrid versus heirloom seeds. This is the first one that we will be doing. 6 plants of tobacco. I'm not growing this for its nicotine abilities or anything. See those flowers there? Oh, right there. Flowers. Those are for bees, basically. The bees love them, and they're really attracted to them, kind of like lavender or clover. But this takes a long time to mature, actually, so that's why I'm starting it so early here in mid-February or so. So yeah, not grown for its smoking capabilities, and I don't smoke in the first place, so I don't need it. Time's the next herb. Germination rate of above 90%, which is pretty good. This does take a little while to get germinated as well. Then parsley. We're gonna do 6 of each plant here that I'm showing you. So we're going to do the parsley. This is just some plain single leaf. Some basil. Some sage, broadleaf sage. And then some lavender. And yes, the lavender is for the bees as well as using it for herbs and cooking. Whew! Man, it is hot as hell in here right now. It is easily, I'd say, 80 degrees in here. I'm like sweating with my little jacket on that I got. So okay, so after that big long spiel of using those seeds and stuff like that, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. This is like $1.50 at Walmart. I don't like going to Walmart to buy stuff because I used to work there for a year and I'm sick and tired of them. I don't like that. That's a completely different video. We're not gonna get into that right now. But go to your local nursery or whatever. Support local businesses. Small businesses. I mean, I'm sure you know who those people are in your town. So we're just gonna do. It's very simple here. Let me just raise the roof a tad bit, and it's gonna be noisy, but I'll speed this up for you guys. This is just basic stuff. We're just gonna dump all this stuff in here. It doesn't really matter exactly how we put it in here. But like you see there, you have to be careful, okay? I just put it all in the middle here so I can just push it off. You don't want to mat it down at all, okay? Try not to mat it down whatsoever, because that will prevent the seeds from really growing in the future to whenever they become plants. Just going to spread it out. Sure be careful, get as much as you can in the actual container, not on the ground around you. So it's really crucial whenever you start doing a large amount of seeds, is you need to know, general specific area, like what those seeds are, because whenever they start growing, if you want to sell them or something, you got to be careful if you don't sell them the wrong stuff. Like, yeah, this is dill. No, not really, dude. It's like tobacco. So, kids won't be very happy with that. Okay, so, as you can tell there, it's all flush, good to go. You got, how many spots is that? 2, 4, 6? Okay, so we got 6, which is good because we have 6 packets, which is 6 plants of each. Now, we're just going to plant these real quick. Usually 2 of them per slot. Just depends on how many that you get. Oops, sorry. Whoops. But usually 2 per slot. That's about average, because with an 80% germination rate, you have to be careful. 2 out of 8 of them won't germinate, right? Is that right? 2 out of 8? No, 2 out of 10, I'm sorry. So, plant 6, that's odds of, what, 15, 20% chance that some of them won't germinate. So, you got to be careful with that. But as you can tell here, man, the lavender plants are just tiny. That's crazy. So, wow, they smell good too. Just like lavender. That's amazing. I've never planted lavender before, so I've never done this. Since they're so tiny, usually we take tweezers or something and do this. But honestly, I'm just going to kind of like eyeball her here a tad bit. I like eyeballing. And then, whenever they start coming up, then you can go ahead and take them and take off, whatever else you do not need. So, 2 or 3 plants coming up, just take a couple of them out. But there's how much I got left. So, there's a lot, honestly. So these are the lavender ones. We'll go and put those suckers back in here. And mainly for these, like, you want to be careful with the seed depth that you plant them. Usually you plant them the depth of the seed size. So really these seeds don't even have to be, rolled over or anything. I'm just going to kind of like just stir it up a little bit. You don't want to do it too much because they can't get too deep. Because if you get them too deep, they're not going to come up for a long time. They'll take a little while. So just pat it down with something here. Make sure you don't go too deep. It's kind of like planting grass, So, boom, lavender, done. Sage. Okay, I have my Kershaw blade. And somehow, just by chance, I had just enough to put 2 in each slot. So that is kind of odd. Don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but we're just going to kind of like pat them down a tad bit. Because since I can see them, I know how deep I can put them. And as we go into the future, I will show you guys how to save your seeds, and as well as replanting them the next year. So that's going to be the basil. See, the basil seeds look very, very similar to lavender seeds. So that's why you put them directly back into their Ziploc bag so you don't forget. Because that would suck. Okay, honestly, I think I'm just going to eyeball them here. 1, 2. 1, 2, 5. 1, 3. That's about good. And that one. We're good? I think we're good. I got this one, didn't I? Did I? Just in case. I'm going to go and put a few right there. And, 2 or 3 is fine. And like I said, you can always pull them back up, whatever ones are excess. It's kind of like growing lettuce, which I will show in the future. Some of them are going to fall down. Actually, I'm going to do a little boom, throw it down there in those wood chips, and hopefully we'll have some coming up here probably a little while from now, honestly. But we're going to see what happens. Parsley, usually, from what I've read, is... Sorry, that was my alarm telling me to get ready to go work. So parsley is usually the ones that take the longest, at least from what I've heard. I mean, I don't know though. My sources aren't very good. Do your research in your area though, and you figure out exactly what time you need to be planting these bad boys. And really, I think I'm planting them a little bit early, but I want some good sized plants whenever time comes. So, sorry about the shadow, by the way. It's not my fault. It's just the way that the sun's at this moment. Oh god, this is gonna be terrible. And then the next one, last but not least, some tobacco. I really hate it when people say tobacco. I'll grow some tobacco. It's like, no, bro. It's tobacco. Tobacco. I don't see an A in that name. Wow. That does smell like tobacco. Tobacco. Those are some tiny seeds. Maybe, maybe not. Hard telling, I don't know. We're just gonna kind of like spread the rest of these on here. More the merrier, bruh. So as you can tell here, just in these few minutes, 30 minutes or so, how much condensation's on this bottle. I mean, it is hot in here. So this right here is that mixture that I told you about. And if you guys had a good sprayer that actually could spray correctly, you'd have much more better luck. But I don't. But you're not going to want to get it to where it's, you know, like soaking wet. But you want to get it to where it's moist, just enough to get water down to those seeds. Now, don't soak it, but also don't underestimate how much water you put on there. Or don't overestimate, right? Meanwhile, I'm getting everything back there all soaking wet, so working wise. Okay, and that is essentially how you plant herbs in mid-February, you know, in your greenhouse where it's about 80 degrees out here right now. I will not keep these out here because it gets down to below 20s in the nights right now. So yeah, like my heater that I had in here is now in my room. Like I was saying, I have that little space heater in there. So that's usually the best way to start these out, especially so early in the year. Start them out inside in an area where they get moderate light. You know, I mean, you know, the more the merrier, really. Like if you had a sunroom, it'd be really good. As long as it's above 70 degrees, between 70 and 80 degrees is usually about the perfect temperature for these bad boys to germinate. Okay guys, so thanks for watching. Thank you very much. This is amazing for me to be showing you guys this and really let you guys know how to do this as maybe, you know, beginners at, you know, gardening or starting their own seeds compared to buying them where they're, you know, 10 times the price as what it is buying the seeds at Walmart or at your local nursery. But definitely, guys, still support your local businesses. You know, grassroots is where it's all at. So thanks, guys, for watching, and have a wonderful day.